Oh, howdy do. How doth thou doeth? Welcome back. Validation Boy live stream, May 22nd, 2017. As per tradition, we're going to go straight to the first five in. Coming in at number 1, Kittens of the Flat Still Earth. A new channel. Check it out, guys. Everyone go there and check it out and subscribe. The subscriber count's growing steadily over there, too. In at number 2, edged out ever so slightly by Kittens of the Flat Still Earth. In at number 2, They Lie, Ohio. Honor to have you guys here. In at number 3, the lovely, the incomparable, Earth Sweetheart. In at number 4, the strongest contender for heavyweight champion of Validation Boy live stream troll chat, Dick Trippinballs. Great to have you here, Dick Trippinballs. And in at number 5, one of Validation Boy's biggest fans, a guy who writes songs for Validation Boy in the name of Validation Boy, and dedicates it to me and does a lot of work concerning me, focuses right on me. One of my biggest fans, one of my biggest followers, underlings, if you will, Jed Skeptic Media. Great to have you in here. We've also been joined by, Schlaminger. And we've been joined by Justin Bernard, a fantastic former guest. Someone I got to get back on here real soon. Maybe even this Thursday, if he's down with that. But tonight I want to kind of keep it kind of short, I just want to break down some more bullshit that I've seen coming out. I don't want to make personal attacks and shit, but I mean, I just want to break down words and wordplay, and we got our old buddy John LeBon, back on the scene. So, it's good to have someone to finally stimulate me in that way to where I want to, talk a little trash, do a little breakdown. Dick Trippinball says, not sure how things are going to go tonight for him. Him and Flat Earth Vancouver had a bad fight. Vancouver struck him while they laid in bed. He said he'll try to get through this live event. Well, we're all here for you, Dick Trippinballs. We're going to give you a lot of support, Dick Trippinballs. We're going to hoist you up. Oh, by the end of the show, I'm going to explain why, by Jed Skeptic Media's very own logic, he is literally a steaming pile of shit. And every time that he holds his baby or cuddles up to his wife, they're literally cuddling up to an actual pile of stinking, steaming human pile of shit. That's what we got. That's near the end of the show, though. We'll get to that later. That's by Jed's own logic that he's declared himself that. So, Dan Pratt's in the house. Oh, man. Dan Pratt joined us real quickly and says, Earth Sweetheart needs a boob reduction. Back to Flat Earth Sweetheart. And JLB wears knitted beanies. You can trust him. He's groovy. And he's out. Peace. Has Richard Clark shown up? Oh, Richard Clark says, Flat Earth Vancouver, BC, fuck off and your puppet accounts. Jed Skeptic says, cheers, VB, sounds good. Richard Clark, shalom. Jed says, damn, Pratt needs tissues. For what? All right. Let's see. In true Validation Boy fashion, we took it easy. To start the show. But, once again, I got my notes, handwritten right by my handlers, because I'm just merely an attack dog for, other bigger Flat Earth channels, don't you know? So they tell me everything to write down, and then I write it down and I follow their orders, and I'm their bitch boy, and I serve them. Okay, so anyways. So on May 18th, John LeBon came out with a video talking about flat Earth sky deniers. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I'm like one of the only, if not the only guy who talks about this issue in this exact way. You know, I know Dell touches on it too. I know Mindfulness is out there. Big shout out to Mindfulness too for making some great videos as of late. Before I forget, I got to give him the big shout out. Everyone needs to go subscribe. I'm going to leave his channel in this description of this video. Everyone, any flat earther that's out there, you've got to check out Mindfulness because he's got great music in his stuff. He makes fantastic points. He sees things in a great way. Dan Pratt says, "Hey Jed, show us video of a satellite traversing the moon, little bitch." Charlotte 1966, who can never seem to go away, has shown up and said, "Hey Richard." And someone named Alex has shown up. Nice to have you here, Alex. And he says, "Yo, people, hey, what's up, man? Good to have you here." You know, this is a show that focuses on the personalities in the flat Earth scene and focuses on one of the biggest roadblock that globe pushers, those who cling onto the fucking system and suckle at the teat thereof, are still trying to use this one argument, these arguments that are centered around this one thing. This big roadblock that they will never fucking get past. Okay. And that's what we're going to focus on tonight. Again, like always, not like always, but as of late, that's how it's been going, because this is pretty much the end of the road for the Globers, especially for a small group of those who were once looking into flat Earth, but have since, in a sore, sad attempt to be perceived by the public as cutting-edge thinkers, have since gone against the flat Earth. And they don't even really believe their own skepticism of flat Earth. And after hearing the thing that I've said many times and will, of course, break down and explain in even greater detail tonight, after that, they know better. They damn well know better. And they damn well know that they're faking their skepticism. So anyways, on May 18th, John LeBon came out with a video about sky deniers, you know. And one former guest of mine, Ms. Rusted Soul, got down on John LeBon's videos and left a couple really sweet comments that really like nailed it. You know what I'm saying? Not sweet in a sweet, nice kind of way, but sweet as in a badass. That was sweet kind of way. Okay. In that video, it was funny. John LeBon thought he could appeal to my ego and call me a flat Earth leader in the video. And in ways, I definitely am a flat Earth leader. But in the conventional sense of the term, I'm nowhere near the leadership position in this whole community. Or as some would like to call it or hope to call it, a movement. I'm nowhere near the leader position. But when it comes to pioneering this thought and branching out into other areas connected to this arena of thought, I guess I am kind of a leader. It's just that, you know, I wasn't a leader on YouTube. I was a leader in another form. Oh, well. Okay. And that's nice. You know, that's nice that you did that, John LeBon. But, and even in other comments, he kept saying it to people. Yeah, but did you know VB's been saying, you know, VB has been a flat Earth dogmatist since way before it was even cool, or way before any of you people heard about it. It's funny. I mean, yeah, I do get a kick out of that. It does make me feel good, you know. It does validate me a little bit, you know. And no one's above their ego. As much as people want to claim they are, no one is. So I'll just be out front about it, you know. And you can see it right in my name. Right in my call name. My, what do they call it? My handle. So he says that sky denial is not empirical. That I'm not being empirical. That people are not being empirical. They're kind of right, but the thing is that there's, you know, that's only one sense site. Okay. In fact, let's go to these comments from John LeBon's video. I'm going to break down. I'm just totally surprised. I'm totally surprised at what has transpired. But okay, earlier on in the comments, John LeBon and Rusted Soul have been going back and forth, and it came to the point where she said, well, John LeBon, your first error is that you can't touch the stars, so you don't know if they are real. Did you also think Tupac came back to life when his hologram performed? Good point. John LeBon responds and says, we've already established that you seek to deny the sky. It's okay. We are all entitled to our beliefs. Okay. So in response to that, I had to butt in and I said, okay, we have already established that you have magical abilities, John LeBon, to fly up to outer space and verify the composition, size, mass, behaviors, and true positions of all known celestial objects, because you are an all-knowing man god from a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. John LeBon says, let's see here, what does he say to that? VB, the Bon Earth model is based on empirical evidence. Empirical means via your senses. Okay. Cites one of your senses. You can see the spherical rotation of the stars. By denying spherical rotation of the stars, you are denying your senses, plural. And thereby declaring that you do not care about empiricism. All false statements, which is totally cool. Just be honest about it. Okay. And I said back, sight is only one of your senses. Admit you're willing to fill in the blanks for the other four while claiming empirical validation of distant, unknown, alleged objects. Okay. True empiricism can be argued that, all five of your senses, or at least more than one, should be used to confirm, because if you look at Mindfulness's video, he totally destroys this argument by John LeBon. The video is called Flat Earth Validation Boy 1, John LeBon 0. Validation Boy, the number 1, John LeBon, the number 0. And he says, what other senses can you use to observe the stars? None, exactly. Sight is all we have to go by, unless you want to deny your own sight, as you clearly do, which is fine. And then I had to say back, well, since when have I denied being, or I said, since when have I denied being able to observe alleged celestial objects? You are the one in denial. You deny the reality of the fact that you cannot validate all aspects of said objects. You can't fully experience them. Yet you still build your foundations on complete and utter system-fed assumptions. Disappointed to see that you are this far behind in logical ability. And then he wants to talk about it live sometime. Well, whatever. Okay. Like I said, I don't know if John saw this video, Flat Earth Still Undefeated. It's pretty much the official declaration of this philosophical principle. And, reality, principle of reality. The fact that, yeah, you can see these things, but who fucking knows what those things are? And since you don't know what they are, you don't know what it is. You don't know where it could really be. You don't know if it's just fake. You really don't. Okay. Now on 522, he makes a video talking about mind viruses. And he's talking about how mind viruses are like things that market themselves, and then a person will get really fired up on it, and then they'll run with it, and they'll tell their closest friends, and it'll spread like a virus, and then they'll tell their friends, and whatever you're trying to sell out there will market itself. And of course, he's trying to claim that flat Earth is one of these mind viruses. Okay, he tries to slip it in all cutesy, put it in there with concave Earth at the same time and stuff, and say that anything that goes against his globe model is a kind of a mind virus or something. But anyways, so he says that flat Earth is a mind virus backed by nothing. Okay. The thing is that there's plenty of stuff to back up flat Earth. There's only a couple things that might go against the idea. There's really only one thing. And really there's nothing, because the two things that John LeBon would bring, which are the only two even remotely plausible arguments against flat Earth, I can smash into pieces right now, and I will. So you'll see. But they're, okay. And the thing is that I believe that what he's doing is just directly blaming his opposition, projecting, himself onto his opposition. Okay. He focuses, on using the sky to prove the shape of the ground. And then the other thing he uses is the alleged fact that he took some flight in the southern hemisphere and it proved something some way or another because of time or this, that, and the other. Okay. Now, the thing is, I mean, I just have to keep saying this over and over until you fucking guys get this. I don't understand. I just don't understand how you guys can take yourself seriously at all in this argument while you sit there and you talk about these things that you're seeing with your eyes, and no other way whatsoever are you experiencing the existence of these celestial objects and stars in the sky other than just looking at them. And the thing is, that you can never touch them. You know that. You know you're not going to go there. You know no one's ever going to go there. You know there's no satellite going there, okay? So they truly, truly are only visual cues that you're looking at. Now, we're still waiting for someone to go up and touch these things, bring a sample of them, bring a sample of it back, As soon as John LeBon can put a piece of the sun in my hand, basically. I'm not going to be a fool like him and his buddies and assume the tangibility or assume the composition and position and function and mass and measurements thereof of these things, these alleged things that we think we are seeing in the sky. Okay. He wants to focus on this. He wants to focus on, Colin Selfridge told me this in the comment today. John LeBon wants to focus on the southern stars and flights. Okay. The southern stars, like I said before, just more intangible crap. More stuff that proves absolutely nothing because you didn't even know what they are or where they are. And the other thing he wants to go by is airplane flights that he took in the southern hemisphere. Thing is, he has no fucking idea what he was flying over when he did take these flights. Okay? He could have done a huge loop and they could have said it took twice the amount of time. Who fucking knows, man? Who really fucking knows? He has no proof whatsoever that his plane went in any trajectory that he thinks it did. He there's no possible way he can ever prove that. So his flights, it doesn't matter if there's a jet stream. It doesn't matter if there's, none of that shit matters. When you're in the plane, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay? So that's out the fucking window. The whole plane flights is just out the window. Meaningless arguments against the flat earth. And oh yeah. And the best part of this video on May 22nd is that he was trying to paint him and his flat earth skeptic cohorts as heretics. I'm sorry guys, but pretty sure flat earth is still the heretic to the globe model, the normie ass model that you guys want to lick and fucking nuzzle up to. So, claiming yourself to be heretics and thinking that that term will appeal to conspiracy theorists, it's not going to work. These are all vintage propaganda techniques. John LeBon must have been studying up on how to market, how to play mind games, how to play word games. But there's people out here like Validation Boy who are going to see through every single word that John LeBon says. And he's the sharpest tool in y'all's fucking shed. John LeBon is the sharpest tool in all y'all motherfuckers' shed. He's way fucking sharper than Tim Osman. And Tim knows that. P. Mars would be next. And he's way down there. And then Jed doesn't even count. Jed can't even, okay. Let's see what else here. Oh, and they want to be, he wants to be self-righteous about it too. Like he's some self-righteous heretic. So he claims that flat earth, and these guys, they want to claim that flat earth is minuscule and meaningless. But then they want to call themselves heretics against it as if it's some huge established thing. So double speak, okay? The games are transparent. Issa Mahal, good to have you here. Mr. Drobot, good to have you here. Schlominger. TomFoolery, the International Space Stage. He's been doing experiments. He tried to recreate John LeBon's experiment, in fact. I don't know what the results are yet. I got to go back and look. Richard Clark is in the house. Oh, shit. Helioskeptic has joined us. That's right. Mr. Drobot. Mr. Drobot says, heliocentrism has more fuckable holes than a warehouse full of blow-up dolls. Gaping holes, bro. Jed said VB ripped him off. It was his chorus. Yeah, I ripped you off hard, man. Too bad I'm going to edit it out. Schmick says, VB, I am officially your service pig, mud wench, and I bow at the altar of your divinity. Hey, man, I'm not a god. Kissing my ass ain't going to work, Schmick. You're still on the list of bad guys. Issa Mahalski invites Jed Skeptic Media onto Flat Earth Court. Jed Skeptic does not have the balls to show up in Flat Earth Court. He's not like VB, who will just straight up go on Gem Panda show and sit there with like 8 ballers and take them on by myself and crush them and smear their faces with reality. With the reality of the fact that they want to fucking live in fantasy world in a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away and shit. And they want to have magical man god powers and shit. Okay, anyways, back to my fucking notes. Okay. You guys are not fucking heretics at all. Okay, anyways. Now he tries to be slick and he tried to lump in all these alternatives with flat earth, He's like, there's this, that, and the other. And then there's a mind virus, and tell me if anyone has ever exhibited these signs. And it goes on through a whole list, and it's all stuff that Globers do. And especially now that VB has put this huge mountain of reality and truth in their way that they cannot fucking get around and still have to talk about every single fucking show that they do. They just won't get out of the back of their head because it's the reality of the situation. The fact that they cannot prove what those things that they're using in the sky to judge the shape of the fucking totally disconnected from the sky ground. They want to use that shit, and they live in fucking magical fairy tale land in their minds, and they can't get past this huge roadblock. But ever since then, that's the deal. And let's see here. They wanted to. John kind of used like the 100th monkey effect. He mentioned the butterfly effect. And he would totally use them wrong. I'm not even going to play back the video, but he knows that he did. He knows he was very loose with throwing those terms in there. And I expect a little bit more. We know that John LeBon is the sharpest tool in y'all's shed. Okay, he's the sharpest tool, knife in y'all's drawer. And if he's not coming full force, he's coming at like 75% capacity right now. I mean, nobody can get much higher capacity going right now because of this roadblock that's never fucking going to go anywhere, that you guys are never, ever going to have an answer to. So really, you guys are kind of burning out your own transmissions trying to go up against it, but there's this big mountain in your way. You just can't get fucking past it, and you're just going to keep butting your fucking stupid heads up against it forever and ever and ever and ever until you realize that the Earth is probably a fucking flat, motionless plane. But anyways, okay. So he used 100th monkey effect wrong. He used butterfly effect totally wrong. He mentioned that there's going to be people that say that in the flat Earth that we got to reach a critical mass and a tipping point. And he mentions this whole thing that David Weiss said once, where he said it's going to go from 5% to 95% overnight. Okay, thing is, I have not heard anybody in flat Earth use the terms critical mass in that way, like as if it's impending, or that we're reaching a tipping point, or that it's going to go from 5% to 95% overnight. I haven't heard anyone say that stuff in like over a year. So, yeah, that stuff came from early excitement. But, I mean, why wouldn't you be excited when you realize that, oh, the same fuckers that bring you 9/11 are also telling you that you live on a globe? You know, how are you not going to be excited when you make that connection and you realize that you live on a fucking flat plane? This obvious thing you've always thought since you were a fucking child in the back of your fucking mind. Every fucking person knows deep down that the fucking Earth is flat. But anyways, back to it. Oh yeah. And then after that, John downs dogmatism. And I know it's not a pretty term to be using in flat Earth. And I declared long time ago in my first ever speaking video that I am the original flat Earth. Well, I declared myself the first flat Earth dogmatist essentially in that first video. But I'm proud now to say I am the original flat Earth dogmatist. And the thing is that dogma and dogmatism, okay, I'll say it again, you've heard me say it before, there's no inherent fallacy in dogmatism. I explained that also. I also explained empiricism and how it plays into everything back in my Flat Earth Still Undefeated video that I recommend everybody go back and watch, because I handled all this crap a long time ago with one like 8-9 minute video, whatever it is. I fucking put an end to the globe. Because if we want to look at all the arguments, all the tit for tat that has gone on in every flat Earth debate or debate show, or anything that's been mentioned in Globebusters and then countered by other people, or anything that's been mentioned in Globe Skeptic Roundtable. I forget whatever it was called. The famous series that John LeBon put on back in the day, that everybody was involved with. Baller Skeptic Roundtable is what it was called. Anything, if you want to take all that stuff and put it in order and see the tit for tat and go and see how everything is, how everything is played out. Well, we get to a certain point where the only thing that the people on the ball side can use is stuff that they make wild conjectures and claims about in the sky. Totally ridiculous assumptions about things they see in the sky. And they have to take several layers of fucking bullshit and swallow it all up to assume all the things they assume, and then to base their foundation on this shit that they've fucking eaten. Okay? I'm not even really paying attention to the chat. Okay, but there's no inherent fallacy in fucking dogmatism. And then he says he has Bon Earth, the model. Okay. And he said that it's not a belief. It's just a model. So by his own admission, he doesn't believe his own model. I guess he says that you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to believe it because it's a model and it's just an explanation. Well, I'm sorry, but if you give people an explanation, they're going to start believing it, because they're going to believe it's the reality. They're going to want to know. So they're going to have to decide, well, it looks like it makes sense to me. Your Bon Earth or your globe Earth or your flat Earth. And then they're going to decide it doesn't matter. And then they're going to be like, okay, so it is that. I believe it's probably that. now I'm going to live my life X, XYZ. You don't just sit around and just, I don't know. Everybody has a belief, okay? As much as they claim they don't. Everybody has a belief. And by his own admission, he doesn't even believe his own model. So can we even take it seriously? Is Bon Earth not just kind of like a prank? Is it kind of like Dick Earth? It's just a big scam. It doesn't matter. It's just it's more of a symbol than an actual like scientific model. Because I already know for a fact that it's not a scientific model. Because part of his model is based on complete and utter assumptions. Okay, like at least 50% of his model is complete fucking conjecture, complete conjecture. Okay. Helioskeptic says John LeBon is an Earth agnostic that talks a lot of shit. Daylight says John LeBon is just cocky. Prevarication detector says a model isn't reality. Yeah. Jed Skeptic says, have you seen the Bon Earth? Think about it, BB, you brain dead Mongo. Isa Mahalski says, looks odd, but who knows? JLB ain't got shit on flat Earth, I think. What is that word? Prevarication? I don't even know if that's a word. I got to look that word up. Is that a real word? Prevarication detector? Which parts are conjecture? Oh, the whole part that's not the ground is conjecture. So 50% of his model is straight up. Same thing as, Dick Earth. Or, Candy Cane Earth. Prevarication detector says, haha, it's a word. I'll just got to look it up. That's cool. I never heard that word before. Maybe I have, but I haven't heard it in a very long time. I got to look that up. Daylight Ohio says, if Flat Earth and Globe Earth went at it, I would say that Flat Earthers would beat the fuck out of the Globers. You mean physically or in debate? Okay. This next part I had written down, I've pretty much said all the things already, that it's applied to everything that's been in here. John LeBon wants us to follow his brand of logic, and but his brand of object is, once again, that, what does he say? You can see it, therefore it's totally real, totally explainable, totally fucking explained, totally fucking validated, totally fucking repeatable and all this shit. Yeah, something might be repeatable visually, but you still don't know what it is. It doesn't matter if it just goes around in a circle. What if it's a big fucking piece of paper up there? What if it's a big fucking blob of jelly? What if the moon's made out of fucking cheese? Oh, you don't know because you never fucking been there. So until you can bring some of that shit back and show us what you brought back with one continuous camera shot the whole way, the whole world can watch, unedited, live. You go there and then you come back with parts of it and you bring it down here and you show us. And we'll believe that it's a real fucking tangible object and not some fucking projection or not some big ball of cheese. Until then, you're completely fucking intellectually dishonest. And half of your models, half of the Bon Earth model is conjecture. And as far as Jed and P Mars and Timmy, and even Jem, much love to Jem Panda, even though he was mocking me in Timmy's thing when they saw that I had gone on Dell's show for like 5 minutes or like 3 minutes or something. I showed up on Dell's show, and I just wanted to say hi and tell him about the fact that I've been pushing this whole thing really hard because it's the be all end all. It's the end of the fucking road. It's the fucking roadblock. Jed says some dumb, irrelevant fuckbag shit. Mackin Stewed has joined us and says, you guys are so funny. Daylight says, "Look who's talking, ass face," to Jed about something. Let's see here. Let's see what else I had written down. Yeah. John Levon wants us to follow his logic and assume that these things are what the system claims that they are. He wants us to stop being the real heretics against his globe. And I'm frankly, I've already said this, but I'm really surprised that John LeBon is not getting what Validation Boy is saying. It doesn't seem to make sense that he would actually latch on to the idea that the sun is what the system says it is and what NASA says it is, and that because of that, that's why the things are repeatable, I can't believe that he wants to call himself a skeptic and is still thinking along those lines. It's like he knows better, but he's choosing to stay in this arena. It doesn't even make sense. It can't even be real. I don't even believe it. I think John Levon's just messing around. I think he must be like flat Earth. He must be like doing maybe what Tim might be doing, which a lot of us suspect, making the Globers look like complete and utter, so that flat Earth does look good. And that even the two sharpest tools in the whole globe Earth argument in this entire fucking scene, which would be John LeBon and fucking Tim, even they look like complete fucking clowns because of the fact that they won't. I find it impossible to believe that they can't agree with me that these things in the sky are intangible and therefore could be anywhere or be anything or be complete fucking illusions. There could literally be gods that live on some mountain somewhere that are projecting that shit up there. You don't fucking know. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you want to assume big science is fucking bullshit. And then you want to go and say that you have a Bon Earth model and shit, which is basically the system's fucking model. It just blows my mind. I can't believe it. I'm going to take a break, guys. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right. We are back. Looks like we got, what do we got? Jed Skeptic Media in here trying to run around and troll. Trying to, I guess Jed got upset because my last show I didn't mention his name, but just a short couple times, just in passing, said I probably wasn't going to say his name anymore. So he got really upset by that, and he needs to feel needed. He needs to hear his name said. He needs to know that he still exists. So he's coming on here full force to try to get the attention of his hero, Validation Boy, his inspiration. And he wants to diss on Ohio for examining the sky when all the fucking arguments that he uses or anything left of any validity that he could possibly even try to use, it's not even valid, but it's the closest thing to valid that he can even try to use, is his sky arguments and his celestial objects. The same shit, he has no idea what the fuck they're made of or where they are. Okay, or their mass, or if they even exist. Okay, or if they're not just projections from something that's overhead, that we can't see. That's the thing here. He even made top 5. So you lucked out, Jed. OJ McBaggins is here. OJ McBaggins has joined us. And I guess DQ has joined us too. And Dick Trippinballs asks, so is this Jed guy really gay? Well, it's up in the air. It's up in the air. He did this whole thing where he was talking about how there's some kind of gay influence hitting the flat Earth, scene. And he tried to say that I'm gay and that I am the leading force of this. And then he took his video down. It was silly. I'm not going to say Jed is gay because we don't really know. He certainly he has a very metrosexual look. He likes to wear turtlenecks a lot. He hides behind a beard in a sad attempt to put forth an image of masculinity that he doesn't really, I don't think, necessarily have that much masculinity in his blood, you know. So he tries to hide behind that. He can't even grow really a full beard. It takes him a while. But now he's popped out kids. He'll never show his wife. You know, I'll never show my girl either. So, you know, he has kids, you know. The kid was too small to, you know, he probably was just babysitting like another family member's kid and said it was his own, just to try to throw everybody off. But, you know, maybe it's his kid, maybe not. It's hard to say. You know, it could all be an act. He does like to play games. He does admit that everything he does is one big, huge troll and that he's a life troll. And he probably didn't like it when I raised attention to the fact that he probably, you know, trolls his own fucking family, probably trolls his own fucking wife. And he's probably going to end up pitting his kids against each other just for fun because he's going to be that kind of a dad, you know. Schlumminger says he's a fake ginger tranny. Nah, Jed's not a tranny. But, you know, Jed is what he is, you know. I mean, not many people take him all that seriously. They know that he's just kind of on the sidelines and he's just a confused guy that likes to hop along to different people whenever they're giving him the right attention. And then when he can't get any legit attention, he'll come on to here, you know. And you know what? I'll be your foundation, Jed. I'll be your rock that you can, you know, try to launch off of. I'll be here for you. I'll always be here. You know, you might give up and stuff, but I'll always be here for you. Oh, and also it brings me back to like, so P Mars, I don't know what channel he did it on, but you know, I saw a video of his and he was dissing on Issa Mahal's Flat Earth Court, saying that it's out of order. And like, he was talking about density versus gravity. And he was saying that gravity is a force and density is a measurement of mass. You know, well, for your mass to exist in the physical realm and for it to be, you know, manifested into a physical reality, it does have force behind it. It's loaded with kinetic or potential energy. Excuse me. It's loaded. Any object is loaded with potential energy. So I don't know. There's force tied up in it, and there's force keeping it together, and it's a, you know, atomic state or whatever you guys other claims you want to make. But gravity has not been proven, so you can't even say that gravity is a force. And then P Mars was getting all jacked up and trying to scream and get all angry and stuff. And someone has him triggered. And I've never seen P Mars act like that. But there you go. There's his video. Maybe I'll even link it in the description of this. You know, it was kind of funny to see P Mars like, you know, do this whole fake outrage, you know, because, you know, we know that he doesn't really care. He plays his poker and he does whatever he does, and he doesn't really care that much. We don't really have to like listen to what P Mars says that much anymore. It takes the load off because it's just one less voice to deal with on the contrarian side when all they do really is just kind of copy what the sharper tools are putting out there. But regardless of that, I'm going to end the show here real soon. And I did promise Jed that using his own logic, I'm going to explain to the world why he is literally a steaming pile of shit. Okay, Jed tried this pathetic counter argument to my whole, you know, intangibility of the sky argument, the big roadblock. Okay. He tried to come back at it with this weak ass argument saying, you can't touch the sun. What do you mean, VB? The sun's rays touch me. I'm touching the sun. Okay. Okay. So by your logic, the stuff that the sun is supposedly putting out that you're touching is now the same exact stuff that the sun is made of. That's the wildest conjecture I've ever heard. Okay. Well, if that's the case then, and whatever an object puts off is also that object, then that means that every time I already said that, but that means that basically, because everything that comes out of your mouth is complete and utter steaming piles of horse shit, then that means you are a complete and utter steaming pile of horse shit. See how that works, Jed? So with your own logic, you've proved what we've all known all along. I'm glad you made that statement, Jed, because it's perfect. It shows how you guys how you guys logics work. And I love it that Flat Earth is way past the math and all the bullshit. And it really has just totally come down to this one thing, this one fucking thing. The fact that the sky is intangible, and the fact that all these people, all these guys, they want to fucking use these unprovable fucking alleged fucking objects, okay, that they have no idea what they're fucking comprised of or where they are. They want to use those things and fill in the blanks and give all kinds of fucking anthropomorphic fucking characteristics and traits to these fucking alleged fucking objects. And they want to trust in that, in their fucking Star Wars fucking Star Trek fucking imaginations, and entrust that their theories about this fucking thing are 100% proof that the ground we're standing on is shaped like a fucking ball. It's fucking pathetic. It's beyond pathetic. Any flat earther who's still using the sky and the Polaris or anything about the sky to prove the ground is going about this the completely wrong way. Okay? It'd be completely dishonest, intellectually dishonest, for someone to imagine what these objects are up there and imagine that they're behaving the way they are because of X, Y, and Z fucking imagination things that you fucking made up in your mind. Okay? It's ridiculous. And the whole point of this show, like I did in the advertisement, is that, like I said in the advertisement, is that, I guess Jed and Timmy and P. Mars and John the Bond and even Jem and anybody else out there who's still arguing for the globe, curved water, I guess you guys have been hiding your fucking superpowers from us, and you can go up there and you can touch these things and you can tell us what they are, and you can tell us where they are, and you can tell us what they're made of, and you can tell us why they seem to appear to. They don't even appear to act a certain way. They seem to appear to behave in a certain way. And the only way that they will work is if you guys completely adopt and fucking swallow up all the shit that is said about these objects to you from big science, from the government, so from the same asswipes that bring you the Sydney fucking siege, the same asswipes that bring you the fucking Paris hoax and fucking Boston marathon bombing hoax and Pulse nightclub hoax, all this shit. And you guys want to just fucking take it and just absorb it all into yourself and just love it. You fucking love the fucking lies of the system. Okay? And you don't like it. You think you're heretics. You think you're on the cutting edge. Flat Earth is the heresy against your scumbag system. And I think that by you guys fighting on that side of this battle, you're being very horrible fucking people. And it looks as though your intent is to harm. Thanks for joining me, everybody. This has been Validation Boy live stream, May 22nd, 2017.